Hi everybody, Whitney with Girl Friday Crafts here. Excited to be here today. Thanks Brooke for the intro and for the compliment on my business name. I always get a kick out of it when people have that kind of reaction to it. I think it's a fun name too. Super excited to be here today. And give me 1 second because I just want to make sure that I can see myself over here, so that if I lose the comments on the phone, I can see the comments on my screen. So just kind of getting a double screen up. Hi Tarina. Okay, good. So I can see comments there. I can see comments there. So all good. So we've got a good lineup for you today. You just watched Brooke, hopefully, and then me, and then I think right after me is Amy with Amy's Creations, and then Melanie with MC Creations, and I think Libby Lou embellished this season. And I know I looked at the lineup and now I completely forget who comes after that. So I apologize to my fellow DIY participants today. But I just looked, and then, you know, you pivot to something else and it just goes completely out of your brain. So I'm gonna do a door hanger today. I had it all lined up here, but so just this door hanger, which I've already painted. I'll talk about that in a minute. And we are going to use a couple of different transfers. So first, we're going to use it's flip-flop season. Not first, but that's kind of the center. That's like the centerpiece of the design. And then along with that, we're going to use this pattern Sunshine. And this is called, what is this called? Geometric Ocean Prints. And I'm going to be using the ocean part of it. So this ought to be interesting. Because one, I don't know why I often pick very complicated projects to do on lives, lots of moving pieces and multiple layers and stuff like that. But also, as I was sitting down with all of this morning, I was kind of looking at it and I'm like, it's not gonna work exactly the way I thought it was gonna work. So we'll just kind of have to see how this goes. I'll be able to figure something out. I just hope that I can figure it out like on the live. Hi, Patty. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna start with this Rays of Sunshine. I like this very, very much. I'm gonna say this and then ask Tarina to correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this was a Watts of Love transfer, and with Chalkathon coming up on Saturday, I'm gonna talk a little bit about Watts of Love if I can manage to talk and do the project at the same time. Sometimes I'm not very good at that. I apologize, there's a little hair on this transfer. I want to get it off there. But I'm gonna try. Hi Karen. So we're gonna start with this, and what I'm going for, just so you all have some sense of what I'm trying to do here, is, you know, the flip-flop season is gonna be in the middle, but then I want it to look like Rays of Sunshine at the bottom, and then the ocean, or at the top, and then the ocean at the bottom. For some reason in my head, I thought the flip-flop season transfer was bigger and would go all the way across, and that this would look different, but that's okay. Like I said, I'll figure it out. But I'm gonna start with this because then I wanna be able to kind of layer on top of it and work my way down. So I have used this transfer a couple of times, but I'm still gonna fuzz it. And Tarina confirmed for me that yes, this was a Watts of Love transfer, is a Watts of Love transfer. So while I'm fuzzing, I'm gonna talk very little about Watts of Love because I start talking about it and then I second guess myself. But Watts of Love is Chalk Culture's philanthropic partnership. And it's an organization, and I just figured this out yesterday. It's in Downers Grove, Illinois, which is like just several hours north of me. But their mission is to bring people out of poverty through the power of light. And so they provide solar powered lights for people across the world, and Chalk's partnership is with Malawi. And so when you purchase from Chalk, you can round up on your purchase, and that gets donated to Watts of Love. Customers and designers can do that. And then every year, Chalk does what is called a Chalkathon, where they auction off finished products, and the proceeds go to Watts of Love. And there's so much more involved with that in terms of trips to Malawi and other things that get done for Watts of Love throughout the year. But what's happening this weekend is Chalkathon, and I wanted to make sure to mention it. You can watch that on Saturday. It starts at 10 a.m. Mountain. And on my page is a link to the RSVP so you can get notified. The other thing that they're doing, starting today through the 21st, is any $50 product purchase, there's a $5 donation. Chalk will make a $5 donation to Watts of Love. For my customers, I will match that. So for every $50 that you purchase from my Chalk site, I will match the Chalk $5 donation. And that runs starting today through, what is it? Through Tuesday, I think. How many times do you fuzz the stencil? So that kind of varies, Rhonda, with how many times you've used it before. And I am chalking on top of acrylic paint. So I'm glad you asked that question, because I would have completely forgotten to talk about this. This door hanger was white, and I wanted a little bit of blue in the background for the sky and the water. So I just very lightly painted on some acrylic paint. And if you were watching Brooke earlier, you heard her talk about, if you're gonna do that and do it well, you should really let it dry overnight. And I just did this like an hour ago, so while the paint's dry, it's not completely cured. I should probably be waxing on top of it, but I'm hoping that, I think I fuzzed it probably a good 6 or 7 times. I actually wasn't counting. I usually count. If I am fuzzing on top of paint or paste, or chalking on top of paint or paste, I try to fuzz more. And then I have found that works better. If it's a transfer you've used a lot and you get like no resistance when you pull it off of the backing sheet, you might not even have to fuzz it at all, depending on what you're chalking on top of. So there's a couple of other designers that are watching. So those of you who've been doing this longer than I have, absolutely welcome your recommendations for folks. Everybody does things a little bit differently. It's kind of a learning process. And I'm hoping that I fuzzed it enough so that none of the paint lifts. Now, it's not a big deal if it lifts. It's easy to touch back up, especially with what I'm doing. And as we talked about on Brooke's Lab earlier, there are no Chalk emergencies, only happy accidents. So anything is fixable. So I have some painter's tape here to mark the lines where my transfer will start, because what I'm gonna do is I want the rays to look like they're coming out of the transfer, but I kind of want to know where that's going to be. Now, obviously there's not going to be chalk there, but I don't want to go too far down. I'm not going to chalk this. So I'm going to go just a little bit below where my painter's tape is. So that's just there for me for a frame of reference. Rhonda just jumped on to do wax it. I didn't. I might regret that decision. Now, when I go to paste the words, the flip-flop season, on top of chalk paste, I am going to wax that, because my experience is no matter how many times I fuzz that transfer, that paste is going to come up. I'm hoping that this paint is a light enough layer that I'll get away with it, but we'll see. So I'm going to be using 3 different colors for the rays, I'm going to use, what is this one? This one, I'm going to use Bumblebee. I'm going to use Sunnyside, and then I'm going to add some Pucker, which was April's color of the month. So just gorgeous shimmery yellow. You're not going to be able to tell a whole lot of difference, especially on the video, between the yellows, but I just wanted to have a little bit of variation, and I'm going to kind of be all over the place with it. So I'm not going to care or pay much attention to whether or not, you know, I'm staying in the area where I'm using this one or that one. It can kind of all blend together. I'm not doing a hot mess. I'm going to do that a little bit on the water, but not necessarily in the rays. So we're going to go ahead and just going to kind of start here. And I've extended the transfer off the edge so that it'll just go all the way up to the edge. So I hope everybody is having a fabulous Friday. It is nice and warm here in central Illinois. Finally, it was overcast and a little almost chilly yesterday. We actually had the heat on for a little while, but I was out earlier, had to go run an errand real quick, and I was like, oh, it's nice and warm, which is gonna be good. Got some yard work I need to do this weekend, so have nice weather for that. So that's that one. Then I'm gonna, I'd have to force myself to be asymmetrical with things. So like my gut is to go here with Sunnyside so that it, but we're gonna force myself out of the box a little bit today, and we're gonna go asymmetrical. And again, just kind of go here with it. I used this transfer on a acrylic board, actually the acrylic board that came with the April Club. For those of you that are Club Couture members, the Bold Lemons came with an 5x7 acrylic board, and I actually used it with this transfer. So cute. So cute. I was so happy with how that turned out. All right. I'll just drop that in water. So I'm gonna peel and paste a little bit here, and this is gonna tell me if I made a mistake by not waxing it already. But we're gonna lift this so that it doesn't dry, and so far so good. None of the blue came up with that. And so if you've never seen anybody do peel and paste before, it's a nice way to be able to do multiple colors. I'm not real fast when I talk, especially with projects like this. And so if I'm trying to use multiple colors and I want it to keep from drying on me, then I like to paste, and then, did I say peel and paste? It's paste and peel, by the way. I like to do that, and then that keeps it from drying out on me. So we're gonna do a little pucker here. I'm going a little bit lower than I had originally said I would. And again, I'm not entirely sure this is gonna turn out the way I wanted. That's okay. So we're gonna do this. I can move a little faster. I don't know that you're gonna be able to see the shimmer on this on the video, but I will make sure to post a picture, obviously, of the finished product, and then you should be able to see that shimmer. And then what I'm going to end up doing, I'll go this way a little bit, is kind of moving the transfer and, you know, making the rays go out a little farther. So it'll, I don't know if you were ever a kid, when you were a kid, when you made a sun, did you ever make a long ray, a short ray, a shorter ray, a long ray, a short ray, a shorter ray? That's how we used to draw suns when I was younger. So this is going to actually kind of mimic that, because the rays on the transfer don't stretch all the way to the edge. And I don't know why I'm putting my squeegees in the water. I'm going to use them again. And then the little bumblebee. Let's lift that. So just in general, I don't think I fuzz the transfer enough just because it's pretty sticky when I pull it up. But it seems to be not lifting my paint. So I'm kind of going slow when I lift. But again, I think I'm getting lucky. Based on how it feels when I pull the transfer up, I would actually be expecting it to lift some of that paste. But it's not, so happy about that. So we're gonna go here. I might have to use a couple of squeegees on this one because my paste is gonna smear together with other colors and I don't want to, even though these are very similar colors and you really wouldn't be able to tell much of a difference, I don't want to mix the colors, so we're just going to wipe them off in between. We're going to go there. All right, so Patty, I'm going to pick on you because I know you just got back from the beach. So how was it? I'm jealous. I saw all your pictures. It looked very, very, very lovely. I know you were really looking forward to that trip. And I'm looking forward to ours. We leave Friday to drive down to St. Louis, and our flight leaves on Saturday, next week, not this week. Patty's trip was amazing. Yay! Hi, Dory. Hi, Sherry. Okay, so this is the bumblebee. This is the third of the yellow that I'm using. And just to give it a little bit of depth. Bumblebee is darker than Sunnyside. So when you see the two next to each other, you can tell the difference. And so it just gives it a little bit of a different shade there. Okay, so, oh, be nice to me. Be nice to me. Pull that up. Oh yeah, that worked. Okay, got lucky there. All right, so I'm gonna try this, and I may not. No, we're gonna wipe this off first. Okay, my desk isn't big enough for what I'm trying to accomplish here, y'all. So I'm going to, just saw Brooke do this on her live, and actually I missed part of it, and I was messaging Tarina. I'm like, wait, what did she just use to do that? Because I might have to do the same thing. So I'm going to need to reuse this transfer, and I could just try to lay it, but I don't want to get paste everywhere. So what I'm going to do is try to clean it off a little bit. I don't want to wash it completely and dry it. So I'm going to take a Clorox wipe, and I really only need to clean off the sticky side. Right? Do I need to clean the other side? I don't know, maybe I need to clean the other side. But I feel like I only need to clean the sticky side. So we're gonna wipe that off. And I was getting ready for my live, so I didn't completely see Brooke do this. So I love trying something new. My hands off here. Okay, so that got some of the paste off. And it, you know, This is something I can touch up later if this is a complete bust, what I'm trying to do here. All right, I'm gonna take this painter's tape off. Do this side right away. I make such a mess when I do things. It is not even funny. So I am going to, what am I going to do here? Try to line this up a little bit and tilt it some. But I got to be a little careful because I'm going to end up laying the transfer down on top of paste. I'm not going to chalk over it, but it's going to stick to it. So I want to do that very lightly. But I also kind of need to make sure that where I do want to chalk again sticks. All right, so we're just going to see, I'm going to rock and roll here and see how this goes. Let's see, this is the one I used for pucker. This is the one I used here. The nice thing I will say about this transfer is that it has a bit of a distressed look to it already, because there's all kinds of parts of the floral design. So if something doesn't go through all the way, doesn't quite look like it's completely pasted, I'll see it. Because I know what it's supposed to look like, but if, you know, someone who's never seen the transfer before or isn't familiar with the project that I was doing may not notice. Hi, Denise. So we're gonna do sunny side here, and I ended up putting that transfer in the water. No, I shouldn't have. Anybody else have any big vacation plans coming up or any exciting summer plans? What did I just, now I've lost track of what I just chalked. There we go. Okay. All right, there we are. So I also heard Brooke talk on her live about her son getting ready to graduate from college. And we are just 2 years past that mark. Our son, well, he has to take a summer class because he kept putting off his speech class that he had to take to graduate. So he ends up having to take it this summer. But it's just crazy. We drive past the high school. We live just a couple miles from where he went to high school. And they do senior banners. So parents can buy a banner that they hang along the fence that runs outside the football field. And you know, it's their senior pictures. And so I drive past that all the time, and it just blows my mind that we're 2 years out from when his picture was hanging on that fence. Just kind of crazy. Patty, Utah in June. Oh, that's right. That's right. I knew that. Very exciting. You'll have to see if the family wants to take a trip to Chalk Central while you're in Utah. Go over and say hi to everybody. Okay. So I think I'm gonna stop there on that side. We're gonna peel this up. Okay. So that actually worked really well. That actually looks better than I thought. What I could do, I don't know if you all can tell, can you see the little like dashed lines in the in between the rays? So the transfer has some dashed lines on it. I didn't go all the way to the edge with those, or they didn't go through. So if I wanted to, I could take the transfer and put it down and just fill those in. We'll see what I think about it when it's all over. Patty, I'm sure the boys would be thrilled. Oh yeah, they would love it. Oh, and there's a ribbon store there. You should take them to the ribbon store. I'll get you the name. Tarina, crazy how quickly they grow up. Don't I know it? Don't I know it? I still to this day will sometimes look at my kid and be like, how? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand how this is possible. You were like 5, like 2 days ago. All right, so that Clorox wipe technique seemed to work pretty well. Watching my time here, I think I'm okay. So we're gonna do this again. Hopefully the third time of trying to do this won't be the time that doesn't work. And then, so when this is done, I'm gonna dry it with the drying tool. And then we're going to take the Flip Flop Season words and put them there. And then we're going to add the ocean waves at the bottom. And that I'm gonna do some hot mess. I've got like 4 different colors of blue that I want to incorporate into that. And then of course on top of the blue that I painted on this round. So this round I just got from Craft Store because I wanted one that was already painted white, because I knew even if I was going to paint on top of it, I wanted it to be a color that would pop. Also, the chalk round is this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous walnut color that I didn't want to paint over. It's like, I don't want to paint over that. I want to save that for something where I want that walnut color to come through. Yes, Tarina, yours are all having babies now. Yes, they are, and they have beautiful babies. Lots of beautiful grandbabies in Tarina's family. And very close to the same ages. You've got a couple that are just like baby babies, right? Like little ones. And now I'm gonna get this piece of painter's tape up. Left a little tab on the other one. Oh, there we go. That's coming up. Oh. Sorry, went out of frame there. All right, so now we're gonna I'm gonna turn this way and try to give myself some more room and figure out how I wanna lay this down. I can't see the pattern that's on here at this point because of the paste that's on the transfer. So I'm gonna lay that down. I'm gonna kind of try and make sure that I am somewhat lined up here. That seems to be okay. Remind myself where I am. Okay, so this is where I need to start talking. All right, I think I'm good. I think I have my visual stuff going on here. I don't remember anymore what colors I've done where, which is probably a good thing. Forces my brain to be a little less linear. Hey, Kara. Hi, my painter friend Kara is on. That's fun. Kara Beckman, Studio 775 in 775, is that right? In Nevada. Check her out if you live anywhere near Nevada. She has a new splatter paint, mobile splatter paint room that she's taking all over. So yeah. No, wait, you're in California. No, you're in Nevada. I don't know. Kara, you tell him where you are. Reno, that's right. That's right. Make sure you follow her, check her out, even if you just like watching people's paint videos. It's very cool. I like watching her paint. Okay, so we're gonna do this. So Kara and Tarina and Melanie, all of my West Coast peeps understand that I can't do time zone math. It's hilarious. It happened again this morning as I was sort of freaking out about, wait, what time am I going live today? And Kara is my business buddy in our coaching program. And so when we schedule times to meet, I'm always like, wait, what time is that for me? What time is that for you? I can do time zone math Central to Eastern, no problem, because I grew up in the Eastern time zone. But you get me started going west, and my brain, I don't know why. Don't know why. My brain just can't do it. I think it's kind of funny. One of these days, I will figure it out. I need to make myself a little chart of, you know. And the thing of it is, I know the world clock on my phone will actually like tell me what time it is where, but I still struggle with it. I find it kind of amusing. 2 degrees, you know, all kinds of things that would make you think that that would be a little bit easier for me, but it is not. All right, I think we're done with that. We're gonna peel this up. Now, this is peeling up much easier now because the Clorox wipe takes, you know, has lifted a little bit of the sticky. The paste has made it a little less sticky. So that's making it much easier to peel up. So I'm a little less concerned at this point that I'm gonna have any issues with the paint coming up. Okay, so I keep losing track of where I've pasted. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna go in here. Now this one isn't sticking very well. So I might have a little bit of problem here. We might have some bubbles or some bleed. But again, this is kind of a forgiving design. So not necessarily a big issue. And this is for me. So, you know, if it's not perfect, who cares? All right, so we're gonna lift that. Ah, I just moved it. Okay, did I do that one? Yes, all right. So we're gonna do one last little bit of pucker on this side right here. Put my lids on these. Then we will be done with this part. Okay. So all that's done. Lift this up very slowly. Don't get overly excited at the end and then mess it all up. Okay. And then I usually keep a water bath on my desk while I'm working. We do not have a sink in our basement, and so I drop my transfers in there and let them sit for a little bit so that they don't get completely dry until I can get upstairs and wash them when we're finished. Okay, so I'm gonna hold this up so you all can see where we are so far. So that's our sun rays. And then I'm going to use my drying tool. So forgive the noise. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to use my drying tool to dry this real quick. So most of this over here that I did, oh no, that's still wet. Never mind, I take that back. Hold on a sec. Starting to say that most over here that I did first should be dry already, and put my finger down, and sure enough, it absolutely was not. Hi, Amy. So we're gonna check this over here. I've got glitter on this finger from the pucker. Okay, so still a little wet right there. So the matte finish chalks, if you angle them a certain way in the light while you're drying, you can tell when they're dry. The shimmer ones are harder because that shimmer, it's hard to tell the difference between whether it's just the shimmer in the paste or if the paste is actually wet. So I'm gonna set this aside for a second while I cut this transfer, and then we will get that positioned. I need a bigger desk. I need a workroom. I need us to have a 3-car garage, or I need a she shed out in the back. That could be a workspace. Retirement goals. Actually, no, we will be downsizing considerably in retirement, so I'll be lucky if I have a room, much less place for doing this kind of stuff, but that's okay. I'll do it out on the balcony where I can see the beach. I can live with that. So we're gonna cut this transfer off the backing sheet. This transfer is called Flip Flop Flowers. And everybody does this differently. Some people prefer to cut the backing sheet with the transfer, and when I first started, that's what I did, but it got challenging in terms of storage for me that way, because especially some of the larger transfers and like the holiday transfers, they'll have like 12 to 15 different pieces, and so I was losing track of what went with what, and figuring out how to store things. And I was watching another designer, and she cut the transfer like that. So kept the backing sheet intact and just lifted the transfer up and cut it. And it's a little challenging when it's a bigger transfer. I'm not gonna lie, it's not easy. But for me, I have found that it just works better. It's better for storage. I can remember what goes with what. I don't lose track of those kinds of things. I don't lose all the little bitty pieces. So I've gone to that. And sometimes I will pre-cut transfers before I go live if they're really big, and like, nobody needs to see this. This is going to be very unwieldy. So I have never used this transfer before, so I am going to do this one probably about 10 times or so. I think I'm on about 7 or 8. Now I can feel the resistance start to give. Yeah, Tarina, that's how you do it. Don't lose pieces. Yep. So I can tell that this one is getting less sticky because it's coming up off the buzzing cloth without any resistance. If this is the first chalk video you've ever watched, this is a chalk defuzzing cloth. It's what you use to take some of the sticky off. You do not have to have one of these. A microfiber cloth works. I like it because it also has the terry cloth side that you can use to very gently dry the transfer. And I've gotten a couple of them free now, so I have a handful. I do like them, but microfiber cloths work just fine. All right, so now I'm gonna figure out how I want to position this. So I'm not gonna put it down all the way just yet, because I am going to put a little bit of wax on top of some of this paste. Okay, so that's probably about, yeah, I want it a little higher. Okay, so that's probably about where I'm gonna go with it. And like I said earlier, it doesn't matter what I do to the transfer. Whenever I chalk on top of chalk paste, it comes up. So I have taken to always waxing when I'm chalking on top of paste, just to prevent that from happening. I also put the wax on with my fingers. It was just sort of a fluke one day that I was like, I wonder how this works. And I just stuck with it because then I can very easily tell where I need wax. If I've put some on and then buffed it off, and I can tell, nope, that didn't work because that surface is still rough. So I can go back over it. I probably don't. And I'm going up into this area because the transfer is going to end up laying there. And I don't want that transfer to pull up any of this. Now I got lucky on the last one, but don't want to tempt fate here. All right, so got like 20 minutes, so I'm gonna try to move along. Now, the paste on this isn't gonna take very long. I'm using one color, so that'll take me just a little bit. And with the waves, with the hot mess, that's not gonna take me very long either. Now, I might end up doing, probably gonna end up doing with the waves what I did with this, and I'm gonna have to lift and put it back down. But I think I'm gonna try something different for that one. All right, so got a little bit of wax on there. Get that off my finger. I'm gonna use the applicator tool to buff it just a little, especially right here because it felt a little heavy. And you don't want the wax to get stuck in your transfer because that stuff is hard to get out. Okay. I learned this from another designer. When you've used your applicator tool, put it in a plastic bag. It helps from it getting really dried out. I mean, these are washable, but I like to use it multiple times before I wash one. All right, so I'll put this down. I don't ever measure, just eyeball it. Sometimes use my fingers to be like, yeah, that's about right. So I think that's about where I want it to be. And it looks just a little crooked. Okay. Do that. And then we are going to do this in Fresh. No, this is Squeeze. Fresh is the blue. So this is Squeeze. This came out with the spring collection. Love this color. I bought it because I just wanted a nice summery orange, but I was not expecting to just sort of fall in love with it as much as I did. And so I have found myself like, what else can I use? What else can I do and use this color? And the design or the project I did where I used the pattern Sunshine on the acrylic board that came with the April Club Couture, I actually used this along with Pucker and I think it was Sunnyside, it might have been Bumblebee, and alternated that. Looks really good. It was super cute. And this is just a great, great, bright, kind of fruity summer color. Very fun. And then I'm gonna chalk the flip-flops, but I also have these little wooden flip-flops over here. I'll show you these in a second, that I'm going to attach to the door sign once everything's like really dry. So I'm gonna lay them down so you can see them, and also because I'm running a little over on my time here, and I also just realized I didn't remember to put my glue gun out, or get my glue gun out, so I'm not gonna deal with that, but I'll lay them on here and kind of show you what that looks like, and then obviously they'll be attached for the finished product. Now this I'm not doing a lift and paste because just one color, one transfer just straight across, I can usually go fast enough that I don't have to worry about it. And I will say this, there are some pastes that are more forgiving than others. This is one of those. Meadow and Pesto are ones that I have found just, I don't know, for whatever reason, they don't seem to dry quite as fast. That's part of the reason I like this one so much. Okay. So we are going to lift this up. Very slowly. Okay. If you lift kind of slow, you can tell if you've missed a spot. So I have a little, but there's also like a little bit of, not really distressed, but you know, the transfer itself has some spots in it. I've got a little spot right there where it looks like it didn't go through all the way. So I will go back and touch that up. And maybe one right there. I have a tendency not to go far enough on the outside of the edges of the design. So I'll lift it and realize like I missed pieces of the edge. How did I do that? Hi Candace. Okay, I'm going to dry this real quick. Should be good. So again, that's where we are so far. And I'm gonna set this aside again for a second so that when I cut the other transfer, I don't mess anything up. As I'm looking at that, I feel like I might end up, I don't think I have any ribbon already that would go with that. So I might end up having to go to the craft store and see if I can find some like orange and yellow and blue ribbon and make just a little like messy bow up at the top, or a rag bow up at the top. Because I feel like even with the wooden flip-flops, it's gonna need a little something, something. All right, so how am I gonna do this? Do this way. And why I don't have my transfer scissors, I don't know. They don't necessarily, I mean, there's no magic, you know, cutting or anything, except they're bigger. And so you can cut across the cut line on a transfer much faster than what I'm doing right now. Just these were the scissors I was using earlier, so they were laying out. See, not the easiest thing in the world. But again, it just, on the back end, this works better. Trina says, come shop my ribbons. You want to talk about a ribbon collection. Trina has quite the ribbon collection. Trina, I would have hated to see your haul from that ribbon store at Leadership. I can only imagine what you walked out of that place with, because I saw everybody's pictures and I was just in awe and knew I would have been in a world of hurt. And actually that place reminded me of this place. I was in New York in 2022 with my mom for her birthday, and we were just walking around. We walked everywhere and, you know, got to see so much stuff that we probably wouldn't have seen had we taken the subway, you know, from one place to the next. And we just happened to walk, I can't even remember the name of it, but it was a Notion store. And Trina, I had to ship it home. I love it. That's great. I love it. So we walked past this Notion store and we went in, and I didn't really get a chance to ask anybody, and I should have, because my thinking is that this place stays in business because of all the Broadway productions. You know, somebody's doing something in a costume and a button pops off or lace pops off. And, you know, this place is right near where all the theaters are. And just wall to wall, floor to ceiling, spools of lace and ribbon and buttons and sequins and bows. And I mean, it was unreal. Going to Utah next week and going again. Uh-oh. Oh, goodness. Post office is going to love to see you coming. I can't really laugh. When we were in Florida in December, we shipped 2 boxes of stuff home. Now, some of that was, we were there for my birthday, and so people that came for the trip, you know, had gifts. And, you know, we bought stuff and all of that, and we ended up I got 2 boxes from the post office, and we ended up just shipping all that home. So I was like, I'm not going to deal with this in our luggage. Okay, so what we're going to do here is, and I'm going to have to lay this down multiple times. So I'm going to do this set of waves, pick it up, lay it back down, do it again. Might have to wipe it off. Might have to go twice here. And I'm trying to decide if I want to use the starfish in there somewhere. So I'll have to figure that out. Because I kind of forgot that was on there. And I want to show you all. I'm going to do a bit of a hot mess with this. How is this not open? I sat here earlier and opened all the paste that I knew I hadn't opened. And, well, it was open. The lid just came out. The thing just came out the lid. Okay. So we are using Tide Midnight Shimmer Kosher Teal and Retro. So the new color of the month for May. And we're going to get I'm going to do hot mess my way. So some people do hot mess with their fingers, which is fine, and I've done it that way. So you make circles and with the different colors, and then you just make them bigger until they all blend together. I do hot mess with the squeegees. Works for me. Gonna stir everything up. I'm a little worried about my Midnight over here. It looks a little dry. Might have to grab my Cadet instead. I can reactivate that with distilled water, but I'm mindful of the fact that I have 9 minutes left. And while I'm not going to get finished, I want you all to see what I'm going for here. So let's see what this is like. Oh, this should work okay. There's some dry spots in there, but it's good. It'll be fine. Okay. So I'm gonna need 5 squeegees, 1 for each color, and then 1 to blend them together. So we're gonna take Midnight, and I'm just gonna dab it. Ooh, a string or hair or something in there. Various places on the transfer. I just got a little on the board. And then we're going to take the Kosher Teal and do the same thing. Now, I do have to be a little careful because I am going back into my paste jar with the squeegee. And I obviously don't want to get Midnight in my Kosher Teal jar. It wouldn't have been quite as much of a mess with the yellows I was using earlier. It would be quite a mess with this one. Is this all Chalk Kosher crafters in this group? No. In the group that I was presenting today, yes. in the group itself, DIY Arts and Crafts Room? No. Oh, so did y'all see the little thumbs up? Have you all seen that? I can't go down that rabbit hole because I'll never get even close to finished, but my business coach is doing a master class, and we were watching her last night, and I had heard about that new feature, didn't know anything about it. I had just seen somebody post about it, and Serena did something, I don't remember what now, and balloons popped up behind her. And so then everybody in chat was saying, do this, do this, do this. And so she got hearts to come up, and she got the fireworks to come up, and then we figured out how she got the balloons up. And then thumbs down does something, I forget what, somebody told her what thumbs down does. So she went down a rabbit hole trying to figure that out. All right, so we've got all my colors on there, and now I'm gonna take this one squeegee and I'm just gonna drag it across, kind of go back where I might have probably not put enough of a particular color or any color. I didn't go as heavy as I should have. This would blend a little bit easier. Okay, I will be done enough to show you all what this looks like. And then, so this is also called a marbling technique. You might have seen people refer to it that way, or seen YouTube videos or people do a live and refer to it that way. I prefer to call it hot mess. It just suits me better. Put that there. And then I'm gonna lift this again very carefully because I did not wax on the acrylic. And I'm hoping that this is gonna be as forgiving as it was with the earlier. All right, well, that doesn't matter because I'm chalking over it. I don't know where to put that because I don't want it to get wet. Stay right there, sorry. I'm trying to lay this somewhere where I don't care if it gets chalk everywhere, but it doesn't get wet because I'm gonna keep going. Okay, so that is what that looks like. And so I'm going to lay it back down and repeat that, and then, you know, kind of do it again until I get all the way to the bottom, trying to figure out if I'm gonna put some of these little starfish down at the very bottom. And then I will have my little flip-flops here. I can lay that down, it's dry enough. I'm not gonna cover these entirely, so it's gonna look a bit like a shadow. So I'm hoping you all can see enough of that because I can't necessarily hold it up since they're not glued down. So I'll have the wooden flip-flops, you know, kind of on top of that. And I really am thinking it needs like something up there. I don't know what that something is. We'll have to go shopping for that. So yeah, so that's it. So I'm gonna show you all the little heart thing because I think it's just super cute. See, right? It's crazy. And I don't remember what the thumbs down did. I don't think Tarina ever got. Oh no, that just does a thumbs down. There's something else. I don't remember how she got the balloons, but it's very fun. So thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for Amy's creations. She'll be up, I'm saying that wrong, Amy's Chalk Creations. She'll be up here in just a few minutes. Don't forget about the Watts of Love Chalkathon on Saturday, and the promotion going on at Chalk, $50 in product purchase between now and Tuesday will be, Chalk will donate $5 to Watts of Love. And for any of my customers on, if you order off of my Chalk site, I am matching those donations. So that's it, everybody. Have a really, really great day. Appreciate you watching, and I will post a picture of the finished project when I am all done. Bye.